The amount of times I've received a question in the last few months asking me, Kyron, can you tell me what altcoins to buy? Or, hey, these are my altcoins, what do you think about them? Is astronomical. If I had $1 for every time I had one of those questions, I would literally be a multimillionaire right now. But I decided to make this video today under the beginner title, as you've all seen, not as it's a beginner video, but essentially a video designed for the people who don't want to take all this research and all the planning and preparation for themselves and just want an answer. Now, in my opinion, a beginner is someone who really hasn't experienced or profited from a bull run before. And I'm guessing that's probably good 80% of us watching this video. So with that being said, today we're going to go through a tier list ranking the altcoins I would recommend for a portfolio. Now, again, nothing is financial advice. And then we're going to build a portfolio from some of those altcoins, giving you the reasons why, and of course, all the steps in between. This is going to be the one-stop shop for literally most of you watching this video. It's all you're going to need to know. So I really do hope you like it. And if you do at any point, of course, would really appreciate a like on the video. With that being said, let's begin. Now, before we even get into the tier list section, which don't worry, will definitely come. I've got price predictions coming for these altcoins. You have to do something that I consider fundamentals. There's two very important steps. Now, I don't care if you're someone who already has your crypto portfolio all sorted out, or if you're someone just coming into the space. It does not matter. This is a must. No one teaches it, therefore no one really knows the true importance. But trust me, I do. So you have to do this. Number one, how many multiples do you really want out of the crypto market? Essentially, what's the goal? Okay, now, you don't want to have your goal as, I want this many multiples, I want 100x. We all want 100x, right? We all want 1000x. Let's be realistic. Let's be as safe as possible just to achieve our goal. Now, for me, my goal is to own 4 properties outright, if I can a 5th, and then have $100,000 to $200,000 worth of capital to reinvest back into crypto. That is my goal for 2025, but what's yours? And you see, I've put a price on my goal, know how many multiples I need to achieve. But since I don't know your specific goals, I'm going to assume you want to walk away with what I want to walk away with, between a 20 to 30x overall. And to put some numbers on what a 20 to 30x looks like, if you have $1,000, you're making $30,000 at a 30x. $10,000, you're making $300,000. And if you're like me, luckily enough to put 100K in, you can make around 3 million. It's quite a lot of money, yes, but again, just remember, it's going to depend on how much capital you are looking to invest initially. And before we continue, I want to say this sheet I'm looking at right now that you'll see throughout the whole video will be made free in the Discord. Just have to go to my Discord, free to join down below, and check out the Miro spreadsheets category. Now, once you've established this and we know how many multiples you need to, again, achieve the goal, your dollar amount goal, the next important thing we have to do in the fundamental analysis here is have a look at how much risk we can afford to take on. Why is this important? Well, this will pretty much dictate what altcoins we can buy. If you're someone that doesn't want to take a single little bit of risk, you're pretty much excluding all the risky micro cap, small cap, mid cap altcoins and just looking for a specific market cap group of altcoins. Again, if you're someone who can take on a lot of risk, maybe you are someone who can literally risk your entire portfolio, then you can literally go to these two over here. High risk, extremely high reward, and high risk, high reward. These are your lower cap projects. Now, it's important we have a decent mix in this make-believe situation, which again, I'm going to assume at least 80% of you will fit into this category of, again, looking for that 20 to 30x. One, we are new to crypto and therefore we can't be too risky because, again, this may be our last crypto bull run, the true crypto bull run where we can find 100x cryptocurrencies and when most will 10 to 20x in general. Again, we can't afford to then go a little bit risky. So this is what I would classify as fundamentals. This is must do in any portfolio. I don't care if you're someone from Altcoin Daily. I don't care if you're Coin Bureau. I don't care if you're someone who literally has $10 to invest. You have to do this, otherwise you're shooting blind. Now let's just reassess and recap where we are so far. Again, we want to achieve a 20 to 30x overall. If altcoins go higher, who cares? Tough titties. If the altcoin we buy, goes up to 100x and we get out at 30x, it doesn't matter. This is a fundamental error a lot of people do make. Oh, I could have made more money. No. You know how much you got. You achieved your goal. That's all we ever care about. Okay, that's all we ever care about. Number two, we want to achieve a 20 to 30x overall, and therefore we can afford to pick an altcoin portfolio like this. Okay, we're looking for mid-risk, medium-reward projects. I've allocated 70% to. We're going to put 5% in the very bottom tier. This is your micro caps under $100 million. And then we have high risk, high reward. These are projects $100 million to $1 billion, okay? And these basically are this light green tier here. Any altcoins are basically apart from Ethereum and Bitcoin, maybe even XRP. So with that being said, that's kind of my outlook right now. Any cash you have on the side or accumulate over the next 2 years, just hold it for what I call small bags. So this over here, this is our main bags, right? These are the ones we're going to invest in these altcoins before the last 12 months of the cycle so that we don't get hit with capital gains tax, meaning that we safeguard a lot of our money. If you invest within 12 months, you're going to get hit with capital gains tax. And in this case, this is what we hold this money we accumulate over time for, right? Small corrections, right? New promising altcoins. And if you want to invest in launch pads, because I want to invest in launch pads, if you don't know what launch pads are, get accustomed to it, get invested. These are going to be big, big, big. So with that being said, let's now have a look at what altcoins I am going to be choosing. Now, these are multiples from the current prices, not prices 2 months ago, back when they were like literally half or a third of the price, right? Meaning that if we go lower the coming 12 months, which is almost certain going to happen, we will have more multiples on the table. So with that all being said, here are the altcoins I would get you guys to take a very, very close look at in this case. So I am going to be ranking these again from 15x over here up to 40x plus. Why? Well, again, it's suited towards us. I've excluded a lot of the altcoins that I actually like because they just don't even fit into the 15x category from today's prices. Again, this is from today's prices, okay? So in this case, I've throw the option out there. If you're someone wanting to look at AVAX and Chainlink, you can do that, of course. 20x, I've added Uniswap in there. I never really was a bull in Uniswap until now because I read, by the way, I made a video on this, 15 predictions from a very big asset manager. They actually predicted Uniswap to be forefronting a lot of big things in DeFi. So I'm really looking towards that as a possible DeFi play. Things like Celestia in the 30x, Arbitrum I think is going to be a really big dark horse. Definitely I think that's in the 30x. A new project called Nillion over here in the 40x. Cedarfly, PokerStar, the BSC pad. These are all launch pads, meaning again, they're launch projects on them. We have the likes of Veracity, Arweave in here, Immutable X, just some big players. Now, why have I chosen these projects? Again, you can pick any one of these projects because this is what I'm again confident in. At least from today's prices. If they go up, it's going to diminish. If they go down, even better. I've chosen these because these show a lot of promise in a lot of big promising narratives, okay? So I would pause this right now if you're someone who wants to find your own. Now, again, I wouldn't choose any more than 15 projects. Matter of fact, I would try, if I was you, to only pick 10 projects because you obviously want to have a portfolio you can manage. There's no point in having a portfolio, 20 altcoins in size, when one of them might pump and drop, and if you don't keep tabs on them every day, you're going to miss it, right? Are you sick and tired of these high Ethereum gas fees? Well, you know what? So am I. As we move even deeper into the bull run, it is super important to keep fees as low as possible while also keeping our options open. So I've given us the answer. Bybit isn't just an exchange, it's literally a bridge between the real world and crypto because they have everything you possibly need all in one place. If you want to trade crypto and save $50 on a single goddamn transaction, you can use their centralized exchange or their in-house DEX called Apex for super fast, cheap swaps. You can leverage up to 100x your portfolio or use an AI bot to trade for you while you watch a no BS crypto. And if you're like me and have 90% or more of your net worth in crypto right now, why not order a Bybit card and spend your crypto anywhere without needing to go through all the annoying off-ramps? So with all that in mind, this is why I've gone ahead and partnered with Bybit for this video to bring you all you possibly need in crypto and of course, hell of a lot more, all in one possible place. So go ahead and use the link in the description to sign up to Bybit and instantly enter your chance to win up to a $30,000 bonus. Thank you guys, back to the video. Again, because they are in these narratives, that's why I've effectively chosen them, right? They're in one or more of what I believe as the strongest. Now, I would kind of pick anything above an 8 out of 10, so any of these. Now, why are narratives important? Well, the biggest pumps are when narrative pumps happen. Now, I've done multiple videos of research on this. A lot of hours I've gone into analyzing the market, and what the market says to me is that altcoins pump when these happen. For example, Hedera Hashgraph, it's a layer 1 project. Therefore, Hedera's main biggest pump that will happen in 2025 will happen when all layer 1 projects pump. The rest of the market is quite subdued. and then we can make the most amount of profit. Now, of course, if they're known for more than just that, for example, Chainlink over here is now known for interoperability and oracles, meaning that it'll pump very heavy in those two narratives. So of course, we can just simply take more money. Again, the more promising narratives you invest in, the continuous your gains will be. So we want to have a nice spread of these different narratives and different projects in these strong narratives, because that means during the bull market, we can take consecutive profits. Plus, as I said, it also reduces risks. We are effectively diversifying our portfolio, not just siloed into one bunch of narratives. So with that being said, these are the altcoins I would actually pick for this portfolio. Again, remember, if you do want to copy this, and not financial advice, I'm not telling you to, I'm not saying you should, but if you wanted to emulate it, this is the breakdown. Again, we went with 70% in these 1 billion to 25 billion projects, 25% in these mid-cap projects, and 5% in the very bottom tier. Again, this is how I'd break the money up, and this is the ones I'd buy. I'd buy Hedera, Internet Computer Protocol, Immutable X, Near Protocol, Arbitrum, Render, and Celestia. I'd put an equal $1,000 into each. Doesn't mean you put $1,000 in right now. It's good to dollar cost average. Over here with the mid caps, I bought Mina, Pith, and Flux. Those are the ones I've chosen. And for the very bottom tier, PokerStarter. Okay, PokerStarter again is a launch pad that's going to give us more exposure over time to many of these narratives, because many projects will launch from that project. Now, $500, by the way, should give you about 2 tickets. So you should be able to get into that, at least in a few of these IDOs over time. Okay, but the interesting thing I want you guys to remember here is we can look to offset gains from the low risk projects. Now, if we pop this sheet back up again, you'll notice some of these don't quite actually fit in the tier I want, but we're gonna, of course, again, looking for that, really, I want a 30x really, right? But the PokerStarter is gonna help offset that. It's gonna help increase our gains exponentially. Again, we're not just profiting from PokerStarter's coin, we're profiting from PokerStarter's launching projects. Again, we can, of course, diverse into that area. I wouldn't typically recommend you do this though, because high risk, extremely high reward, aka these projects may never even pump at all in a bull run, okay? So I wouldn't really rely on those to offset these gains. But in this case, I'm confident in my picks. Again, I've got many hours of research behind these altcoins. Some of you might not. So some of you buying microcaps, you hear Mr. Influencer X say, or your friends say, or again, read the comments of a YouTube video and get FOMO and buy it. You know, you haven't done your actual research and you might be buying a really dud project. But again, I am very confident in what I have picked over here. So that all being said, this particular portfolio that I have chosen here is going to tick very big boxes. We have 11 coins overall, which is again good. I think 15 is the max, but again, if you spend, which you should, 10 minutes per project per day, 11 coins is over an hour and a half. It's almost 2 hours worth of research, which is quite a lot, okay? But over here, 8 narratives. We're in 8 huge narratives I've outlined here. Again, massive, massive, massive. And we have the wild card PokerStarter over here, which again will provide us more capital through the bull run to then buy more projects, or maybe just even, again, hit more narratives. And I believe it's a win. So overall, I threw it into the average calculator, what these averages out to based on this particular sheet, based on what I believe these promising projects could be multiples in. And it comes to actually basically an average of 30x. But again, I couldn't account for this. Now, I keep mentioning PokerStarter, but for a very good reason. These guys average 115x per launch, and they launch a project every other day in the bull run. In the last bull run, huge, huge. So again, this is what I would definitely pick if I was starting out fresh. But again, this would be a $10,000 portfolio. So with that being said, again, take it in, take it on board. If you're a beginner, let me know what you think down below. And of course, again, remember, this might be different depending on what your answers are to the fundamentals back over here. If your answers are way too risky or way too safe, you're going to have to pick different risk categories and different altcoins to then choose. Now, with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, I would suggest you DCA as well. Now, if you remember back at the start of the video where I said, if you have any extra money you accumulate throughout the next 2 years, you can use that for quote unquote small bags. You cancel dollar cost average into these main projects with that income. You know, if you get an extra $500 a month from your job, decide what to do there. But again, what you want to do in this case when you are dollar cost averaging is hit these 3 main points. You want to buy if your entry level is met. Again, technically speaking, right now, these will actually hit your entry levels if you are looking to get these multiples. But again, this is like a price prediction, meaning that's the ceiling. You kind of want to look to get into projects before it hits its possible ceiling, otherwise you're running a risky game. But again, you find that entry level and you execute on that entry level, not any higher. So if it's there, you may as well DCA. Number 2 is buy when the market or Bitcoin is down or averaging 10% on the week, not the 1 hour, not the 24 hours, on the 7-day, okay? And you also want to buy when the altcoin particularly is down 10% or ish on the week. Again, only if it meets your entry-level targets. And I have a really great DCA sheet over here. You guys can, of course, go ahead and access completely for free. Again, it will be linked, as you can see right up here, if you go to the Discord and sign up and get to this sheet. As you can see here, I mean, it's got everything you possibly need, right? It's got your income, everything, and it spits out the total weekly expendable income or dollar cost average amount. So with that being said, again, let me know what you think down below. And I'm interested to see what altcoins you would actually pick from this list. Again, these are the ones I really am quite bullish in. And with that said, thank you very much for watching. I will talk to you all soon. Take care.